This is my second video about my experiences in joining the National Guard. This video is going to talk about my experience at MEPS, the Military Entrance Processing Station. To start off, let me say that MEPS is not scary at all. The worst part of my day was honestly all of the sitting around and waiting that I had to do. This will be your first lesson in all of the hurry up and wait stuff that you hear so much about in the military. So be prepared and make sure that you bring a lot of patience with you. To start off your day, you will get to MEPS at about 6 a.m. and right away when you get there you will be instructed on how to enter the facility properly. To make this easier on yourself, leave all of your stuff in your car, like your cell phone, your coat, your mittens. Literally all that I brought in with me was my social security card, my driver's license, and the clothes off my back. And I was one of the first people to start all the medical processing. So just to make your life easier and make their life easier, don't bring anything with you, because the less you have, the less time you'll spend scanning your bags, checking your stuff in, keeping track of all your personal items. After you enter the facility, you will be ushered into your branch's liaison office, where they will give you some paperwork, and then you'll take that paperwork up to the front desk, and then the front desk will give you more paperwork, and then you'll take all of your stuff over to the medical processing facility. And once you get there, you'll have to wait for a couple of recruits to show up before you can begin the hearing and vision tests. The hearing test was one I did first, and basically I sat in this little cubicle with some headphones and a joystick with a button on it. And every time I heard a double beep in either one of my ears, I had to press the button. And pretty simple. After the hearing test, I did the vision test, where they tested for color blindness and near and farsightedness. The color blindness test is where they give you a set of images with tiny colored dots on them, and you have to be able to see different numbers in the dot arrangements on those cards. The near and farsightedness test is the classic poster where they have the E at the top and they have the different lines with the different letter sizes on them, and they'll say like read line 5 with your right eye or read line 6 with your left eye, and that's just to test to see how strong your eyes are in near and farsightedness. After that, they will usher you into a room where you will sit and wait for all of the other recruits to finish their hearing and vision tests. And then somebody will come in and they will brief you on how to fill out some medical forms. And make sure that you are paying very good attention to what they're saying. For one, because they don't like to repeat themselves, and two, because there's a very specific way to fill out this paperwork and you don't want to have to redo it. So make sure that you're paying very good attention to them and their instructions. After you fill in your medical paperwork, they will take all of the recruits in and they will get blood samples from you. The blood samples are to test for HIV and other sexually transmitted diseases. They also test for, they test your blood sugar levels and other types of proteins in your blood, just to see how healthy you are, and to see if there's anything hiding in your blood that could potentially disqualify you from enlisting. After your blood test, they will split up the guys and the girls, and they will go do urine analysis. Be prepared to do this in front of somebody. If you are not prepared, you might psych yourself out and not be able to do it. Also make sure that you're drinking a lot of water throughout the day, because if you get to the urine test and you're not able to pee, they'll make you sit and chug water till you are ready to pee, and that is not an optimal situation. So the urine test is to test for pregnancy in women, also to test for sugars and proteins in your urine, and also to see if there's any blood there that could potentially mean that you have an infection. So that's what the urinalysis is for. After the urinalysis, they will take all of the members of your gender into an exam room with some benches in it, and you will strip down to your underwear, and they will measure your height and weight, and then they will proceed to lead you through some exercises commonly known as the Underwear Olympics, for good reason. And the exercises are not difficult, but you will feel like a complete idiot doing them. So try to take yourself seriously and not make too big of a joke out of it because, yeah, it is the military and they don't have time for jokes. So after you do the Underwear Olympics, you will strip down to nothing and you'll put on a paper exam robe, and then you will be led into an exam room where a doctor, in my case it was a 90-year-old man, will do the physical exam for you. This was probably the most awkward part of my day, mostly because of the age and gender of my doctor. I was a little uncomfortable with it, but I mean, I had to do it. So during the physical exam, they will look at literally every square inch of your body, so just be prepared for that. If you want more information, you can Google it, but I'm just going to leave it at that. So after all of your physical exam, you are pretty much done with your medical processing. So then they will usher you into your branch's liaison office again, where you will do your career counseling and they will pull a ship date for you. My ship date is January 31st. At that point, I will be leaving for Fort Jackson in South Carolina, where I will complete basic training, and then right as soon as basic training is done, I will head to Fort Benning in Georgia for OCS. So that means that I'm right on track to graduate OCS at the end of June, and that is meaning that if everything goes well at basic and OCS, and I don't have any injuries or other types of things that would hold me back. So after you do your career counseling and they pull a ship date for you, you have to fill out some more paperwork, and then they'll also do fingerprinting. I have really bad fingerprints, so this took a really, really long time, like upwards of 45 minutes, so hopefully you won't have to wait that long. I'm not sure why mine took so long, but whatever. After the fingerprinting is done, you will go and you'll sit down with somebody and they will talk over your contract with you and any sort of student loan repayment or enlistment bonuses that you are getting. And then you will sign your contract, and then you will go to the oath ceremony where you'll swear in to your branch. This was definitely the most exciting part of my day. When you get in that room, you can feel all the excitement from the other recruits, and when you say those words back to the officer, you can feel the power of them, and it is very empowering to stand there and to say those words and to connect them to your personal situation. And for me, those words held a lot of meaning for me. So it is what you make of it, and for me it was a very, very empowering moment for me. And I'm not going to lie, I did get a little teary-eyed, but they were good tears. So I hope that MEPS goes just as well for you if you are going to MEPS. But overall, my MEPS experience was amazing. It was a little boring at parts, but at the end of the day, I'm very, very proud of myself for the commitment that I'm making to my country, and I hope that I can serve as well as my other family members and friends that have done, that have made the same decision I have. And I pray that I have everyone's support in doing so. But overall, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to post, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Hey, now soldier, you better do your best. Hold you by yourself in the